Welcome, everyone, to the Shipyards. I am Takeshi Yamato, the Yard Master, joining our host, the Housecoat Gamer.
Yo.
Today we are taking a look at our next wars boat, the Secutor-Class Star Destroyer.
Despite the fact that it is 2,200 meters long, it is classified as a Star Destroyer mostly because of its light armament. As such, it is more akin to its Venator counterpart. In fact, it was designed as more or less a super Venator, like what drive systems.
Yeah.
In fact, it even shares the same general layout, including the twin bridge systems. Of course, it would
Yes.
not serve the Republic for very long, if at all, because as soon as it was introduced... Someone play the Imperial March, please.
Da 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 da
Thank you,
da
Take.
da 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 da.
Thank you, Take. But in spite of the fact that this ship was unique and very useful, there's just one problem. At least, a problem that the Imperials saw. It wasn't scary enough.
Yeah.
One thing I will say about Will of Tarkin, he's a good administrator. But other than that, he's a freaking idiot.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously. Fear does not control. Fear just turns to rage. And what does rage do?
Yeah.
It makes you unafraid to die.
Yeah.
Which is kind of the point. Regardless,
Yeah.
in spite of this, the ship would serve as sector command vessels, but they would not be as popular as, say, ISDs. Because this thing has the same armament as an ISD in a larger package.
Yeah. Even the Praetor class vessels would probably be more popular than these things.
Yeah, simply because these things are carrier boats, not, well, battleships. Which is why they actually seemed more popular with the Rebel Alliance and eventually the New Republic. Because what's their doctrine?
Fighters. Fighters, fighters, fighters everywhere.
Indeed. And their only real use for capital ships is in the support role.
Yeah.
But the Secutor would not last forever. By 100 years after Yavin, most of them were decommissioned. Anyone else was just a traveling starport.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if some of them got the errant venture treatment. For those unaware of Star Wars, here's a bit of
they
lore.
are well aware of the errant venture at this point.
Fair enough. That thing is pretty famous. About the only people who wouldn't know about the errant venture are people who don't know much about Star Wars in general.
Yes, learning about a Star Destroyer that is a traveling smuggler's port is kind of easy to figure out.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's stat this ugly bastard.
Yep. Entered service date is approximately 20 years before Yavin. And we based it somewhat on the Venator because it is a super Venator. Basically, we took the same systems profile, comms 9, computers 8, engine 6, sensors 9, structure 9, weapons 7, from the Venator, and added an extra point into comms for comms 10. Departments are again just as the Venator, 1 point each in command, security, and engineering. It's a scale 8 starship as opposed to the Venator 7, which is where the extra point in comms comes from. For talents, we took the 3 instances of extended hangar bays and 1 instance of secondary reactors from the Venator and added an extra instance of each. This thing only has room for a profile talent and a free talent, but this thing can carry, let's see, standard limit is 1, is scale -1. This thing can multiply that by 4. This thing can carry 28 active small craft, including, I think, let's see,
It can carry pretty much anything in the Imperial Navy, from standard TIEs, TIE interceptors, assault gunboats, TIE defenders.
Yeah, and basic extensive shuttle bays allows you to carry up to 2 scale 2 craft, like shuttles. Last thing, and that's increased the same amount every instance, so it can carry 8 scale 2 craft.
Of course, I would like to adjust rules to create fighter squadrons at some point.
Yeah, that would probably be something we can do as a video all on its own at some.
I suppose I'll have to put up something that actually involves fighter squadrons.
Yeah.
An excuse to play with hydrants again.
Yep. And of course, the second instance of secondary reactors means the thing has improved power gen. It has even more power gen because, well, each instance of secondary reactors adds 5 power. And with this thing only having an engine's rating of 6, you need all the power you can get. So that would be 16 power. And of course, it has the standard wars rules of hyperdrive propulsion system and deflector screens. And for weapons, we have medium turbo lasers, light turbo lasers, ion cannons, laser cannons, and a strength 7 tractor beam. And for descriptor traits, we're going to get into those, but first we start with the Venator stuff. Republic Starship, Imperial Starship, and Predecessor.
And what is this the predecessor to?
Something tells me it is the predecessor to Vader's big boy, the flagship.
Well, it would certainly serve the same role as the Executor. But this is more a proof of concept boat. After all, it's only, what, 1/6 the length?
Fair enough.
Anywho.
That is the Secutor.
Your judgment is nigh, because this ship is known for doing one thing and one thing only. Carrying swarms of fighters into battle. Oh, that and base Delta Zero operations.
Yeah. Or the Empire was fond of orbital bombardments.
Glassing worlds seems to be their thing.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.